Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to another of my PlayStation 4 reviews. And today's review is for a game that was released in 2018 and it's called Surviving Mars, and it's from Paradox Interactive, who have made many a strategic game out there. They're one of the best on the market, and they've been moving into releasing them on PlayStation 4 and other consoles. Now, I got this when this first came out in 2018. I do believe I even put up a gameplay video of it when it came out. I played it for a little bit when it first came out, and I don't remember why I stopped playing it. Maybe it was because it was a few other releases released at the same time that took my attention. But I've decided to revisit it because I am a big fan of these type of games, and I've got games like this and Constructor, Avon Colony, City Skylines, the Tropica games, Townsman, Stellaris, Grand Ages, Medieval, as well as many others in my collection, and they're very, very time consuming, really nice, chilled out, relaxing games that you feel like you're actually doing something quite constructive when you're playing these games, because you're basically building cities, and this one you're based on Mars. No real surprise there. Now this actually, I've put a lot of time into this over the last few days to remind myself of this game because I wanted to retry it again, and I'm having an absolute ball with this game. It is so good, it's so slick, it's not overly harsh, but there are things in this game you have to learn, otherwise you're going to really struggle with it. So straight off the bat, I would definitely recommend, if you're going to play this game, there's an excellent tutorial, so do the tutorial. Definitely that will teach you the best way to go about, because I remember the first time I played this is when it first came out. I put a few hours into it, and it got to the point when my base got so big on Mars, things started to go wrong and I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong, and there was like inactive drones, because you've got like drones that build everything out on the surface and things like that, and they weren't moving and working, and it got really frustrating for me, and I probably, that's part of the reason I lost interest in it then. But this time round I took the time to learn the game slowly, and built my base up slowly, and it's such a rewarding game. Now with this game you've got a few ways you can play it. So you've got, when you first turn it on, you can just play the game, and by going into the game you can choose to do the tutorial, and then after that you start a game, and you've got a few different things you can do. You can choose your sponsor. Now the sponsor ranges from many different things. You could choose to have extra funds, you can choose to have faster research, and there's a whole array of different sponsors, and each of them gives you an advantage in a certain area. You could choose who the commander is going to be, what kind of person it is. Did it used to be like a city mayor type person, or an inventor, or a scientist, that sort of thing, and again that gives you an advantage in certain areas. You choose your logo for your mission. You can choose to have a mystery, so you're sending out vehicles to like scan anomalies and things like that, and you will come across mysteries and things, so you can choose to have that in the game or not. And then you can really choose how you want to customize your experience, and this is where you can really get down to the fine details, and some of them are they're basically cheats, and they make the game so easy or so hard sometimes it will disable trophies because it's giving you a real advantage in the game. So you can really customize it however you want in this game, but there's other ways to play it as well. There's a challenge mode where you get different scenarios, kind of stuff that you've seen before, and there's a creative mode where there's no restrictions on funds or anything like that. However, trophies are disabled, but if you just want to go in there and create to your heart's content, you could do that in the creative mode. So there's quite a bit of replayability here. Now there's no multiplayer, but I am pleased to report as well, certainly since I played it, when I put this on to play again, there was quite a big update downloaded, and there are certain things different in the game now that certainly from when I remember playing it. So just be aware of that as well. The game has definitely been improved. It feels nice and slick, there's no bugs or anything like that. The only time it sticks is when it auto saves, and it sticks for about 10 seconds or so and then it moves on. but I've not had any crashes or anything like that in the game. Now, when you go into this game, it's a basic case of build this here, build this there, building up your base slowly but surely. So you've got to be clever about it. You've got to make sure your base has got enough power, it's got enough oxygen, it's got enough water, it's got enough food supplies. So you kind of build it up slowly but surely to get all these things in place, and then you start building domes, and these domes are there to house humans, and then you can call rockets from Earth full of humans once the planetary base is ready, and then they will house these domes, and then they will do jobs around the base, and make productability even better on Mars. But you've got to constantly keep your eyes on everything, because things will go wrong. You will also get things like dust storms and meteorite showers in the game that will damage your base, so you've got to make sure you've got enough supplies on hand at all times to deal with this. And sometimes it is a little bit of a you get into these desperate states now and again where you might just not have enough metals, or you might just not have enough polymers or things like that, or electronic parts or metal parts. But you can order a resupply shuttle from Earth, but that takes a few minutes to get to Mars, and that will give you, a little bit of a stopgap until you get these resources installed on Mars and get these factories and mines building and digging and getting everything you need and all the resources you need in order to make your base really, really viable on Mars. This is a highly addictive game. I must warn you here. It's amongst the most addictive ones I've played, and I've played them all. That list I gave you earlier, that's not an exhaustive list. There's many more that I've got in my collection. Some of them I really stick with, like City Skylines. I play that on and off, still quite regular. And the Tropico games, I really enjoy them. I like the humour in them. I just like city building games. It don't matter where the environment is. I do like the sci-fi element to this game. Yes, you could argue that the environments are a bit samey, but it's Mars, for goodness sake, you know what I mean? Now they make up for it, I think, in graphical area, in other areas. The domes, the detail on the domes, because you can zoom right in. The detail on display in these domes is absolutely fantastic. You can build all sorts of things in these domes, like diners and casinos and exercise areas, and you can literally zoom right in and see the population literally exercising there, or sitting on a park bench, or going to the grocery store to get some vegetables. You can even see the vegetables. The detail is absolutely second to none here. And it's just a highly addictive game to play. I'm thoroughly enjoying it after going back to it. It's, like I say, it's not overly harsh, especially if you take the time to learn the game. You will figure it out, and it's ultimately very, very rewarding, this game. So I strongly recommend it. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. It's fairly easy nowadays to pick up in a sale, either physically or certainly in the PlayStation Store. It's usually always on a sale 2 or 3 times a year. So definitely, if you're into city building games, this is definitely one of the best on the market. I strongly recommend it. So go and get it. Thank you very much for watching, everybody.